Enter a safe, calm state tonight. Sleep hypnosis for deep sleep. What if you did not need to stop your thoughts tonight for your body to finally begin resting? Your mind may still feel active right now, even after a long day. Thoughts may still be moving quietly in the background, one after another. As your body lies here wanting rest while another part of you still feels awake. And that's okay. You do not need to force your mind to become quiet all at once. There can be a strange feeling at night when everything around you becomes still, yet your inner world continues moving. The silence can make thoughts feel louder. Small worries can feel closer. Your mind may keep searching, reviewing, replaying, trying to settle something before sleep arrives. And you don't need to stop that from happening right now. You can simply let this moment be exactly as it is. Nothing needs to be solved before you rest. Nothing needs to be figured out tonight. Your body does not need perfection in order to begin softening. Your mind does not need to become empty for sleep to slowly move closer. You may notice that just hearing those words creates a small shift somewhere inside you. Maybe only a tiny softening, maybe a small feeling of relief. As if part of you no longer needs to keep working so hard for the night to feel okay. There is nothing you need to do perfectly here. You do not need to follow every word. You do not need to focus deeply. You can listen for a moment, drift for a moment, and return whenever you naturally do. Your mind may wander, and that's completely okay. Your body already understands something your thoughts sometimes forget. It already knows how to rest. It already knows how to slow down. Even now, beneath the thinking, beneath the tension, there is a quieter rhythm beginning to appear gently on its own. You can simply stay here for now. Resting without pressure, listening without effort, letting this moment become softer little by little. There is nowhere else you need to be tonight. And as the night continues quietly around you, you may begin to notice that you no longer need to hold yourself so tightly. Not everything needs your attention right now. Some things can wait until tomorrow. Some thoughts can drift without answers. And your body can begin settling even before your mind fully understands how. Have you noticed how the harder you try to sleep, the more awake your mind can sometimes feel? There can be a quiet pressure that appears at night, a feeling that sleep needs to happen soon, that your mind should already be calm by now, that your body should already be asleep. And without even realizing it, you may begin watching yourself too closely, wondering if you are relaxing correctly, wondering if sleep is getting closer yet. You do not need to do that here. Nothing in this moment needs to be monitored. Nothing needs to be measured. You do not need to make sleep happen. You do not need to force your body into rest. And you do not need to follow every thought that asks whether this is working. Your body can rest long before sleep arrives fully. Your mind can soften even while thoughts still move gently in the distance. There is no perfect state you must reach tonight. No special way you need to breathe. No correct way to let go. You can simply lie here exactly as you are. If your thoughts continue for a while, that's okay. If your attention drifts away from these words, that's okay too. If part of you still feels alert or restless, nothing has gone wrong. Your nervous system does not need pressure in order to slow down. In many ways, pressure is often the very thing keeping the mind awake. So, tonight, you do not need to succeed at sleeping. You can allow this to become something softer than that. A quiet place where your body can feel supported for a while. A calm space where nothing is expected from you. A moment where you are no longer trying to arrive anywhere. And sometimes, when there is nothing left to force, the body begins relaxing in its own natural way, slowly, quietly, almost unnoticed at first. You may notice small signs already beginning. A little more heaviness beneath you, a softer feeling around the eyes, a slower rhythm moving through the chest and shoulders. These shifts do not need your effort. They can happen gently on their own. Your only job tonight is to be here as you are, awake or sleepy, thinking or drifting, calm or unsettled. Every version of you is allowed to rest here without needing to change first. And as you continue listening, or drifting somewhere between listening and sleep, your body may begin understanding something very simple and very safe. That this moment does not require effort anymore. That nothing needs to happen right now. That you can simply rest. What if simply being here for these next few moments was already enough? You do not need to guide yourself anywhere tonight. You do not need to make your mind quiet. You do not need to search for the perfect feeling of calm before your body is allowed to begin resting. You can simply listen. And even listening does not need to be complete. Some parts of your attention may drift in and out naturally. Some words may stay with you for a moment, while others simply pass by softly in the background. That's okay. Your mind does not need to hold on to anything right now. There is something comforting about no longer needing to try so hard. No longer needing to solve the night. No longer needing to keep checking whether your body is relaxed enough. No longer needing to chase sleep as if it were far away from you. You can let this moment become simpler than that. Just this breath. Just this bed beneath you. Just this quiet moment where nothing is being asked from you. And little by little, your nervous system may begin noticing that it is safe to soften now. Safe to loosen. Safe to stop holding so much tension beneath the surface. Even if your thoughts still move gently in the distance, your body can begin settling anyway. You may notice the rhythm of these words becoming slower, softer, easier to follow without effort. And you do not need to stay fully focused. Your mind can wander for a while. It can float somewhere else and return later without missing anything important. Because there is nothing important you need to catch. Nothing you need to remember. Nothing you need to do correctly. Only this slow unfolding into rest. The night does not need anything from you right now. And your body does not need to earn relaxation before receiving it. Sometimes relief begins the moment you stop demanding that you feel different than you do. So, if your mind still feels busy, let it be busy for now. If your body still holds small pockets of tension, let them time, then you finish lining. No pressure to arrive anywhere quickly. You can simply remain here quietly, listening a little, drifting a little, resting a little more with each passing moment. And beneath all the thinking, beneath the quiet movement of thoughts, your body may already be beginning to remember something gentle and familiar. The feeling of not needing to stay alert anymore. The feeling of slowly becoming heavier, calmer, softer, and more supported by the night around you. Can you allow yourself to feel the quiet support already holding you right now? Beneath you, the bed has been carrying your weight this entire time without asking anything from you. You do not need to hold yourself up anymore. You do not need to stay prepared for the next thought, the next task, the next moment. For now, you can simply let yourself be supported. You may begin noticing the feeling of the surface beneath your body, the gentle steadiness underneath your shoulders, your back, your legs. Even the smallest areas of contact can begin reminding your nervous system that you are no longer moving through the day. You are here now, resting here now. And around you, the room can simply remain quiet and still. The darkness does not need to mean anything tonight. It does not need to become a space for overthinking or tension. It can simply be soft, calm, distant. A quiet background where your body can begin settling more deeply little by little. Your mind may still wander sometimes. That's okay. Thoughts may continue appearing and fading gently in the background. But underneath those thoughts, there is also this moment. This bed beneath you. This steady support holding your body without effort. You can simply notice how nothing is required from you right now. Nothing to fix, nothing to prepare for, nothing to solve before your body is allowed to soften further. The night can hold things for a while. You do not need to carry everything alone in this moment. And as you continue resting here, you may notice small sensations becoming clearer in a quiet way. The warmth beneath blankets, the stillness around your hands, the natural weight of your legs sinking slightly more with each passing moment. Not because you are trying to relax, but because the body often begins relaxing when it finally feels safe enough to stop bracing. You can let the room feel distant now. Let the day feel farther away. Let your awareness become smaller and softer, resting closer to the body instead of circling endlessly through thoughts. And if your attention drifts away for a while, that's completely okay. You can return gently whenever you naturally do, or simply continue floating somewhere between listening and resting. Your body already understands this quiet language of support. The softness beneath you, the stillness around you, the feeling of no longer needing to stay so alert. And little by little, without force, without effort, you may begin arriving more fully into this calm moment here tonight. What if this moment did not need to become perfectly quiet for you to begin resting more deeply? Sometimes the mind keeps moving simply because it has been carrying so much for so long. Thoughts continue turning gently in the background. Not because something is wrong with you, but because your mind has been trying to protect you, prepare you, understand things, hold things together. And tonight, you do not need to fight that process. You do not need to clear your mind before rest is allowed to begin. You do not need to reach a certain state. You do not need to relax perfectly. Even now, with thoughts still appearing and fading, your body can continue softening underneath you. Your nervous system can continue slowing in its own natural rhythm. There is room for both thoughts and rest to exist together for a while. If your attention wanders often, that's okay. If you suddenly realize you stopped listening for a moment, that's okay. If parts of your mind still feel awake or watchful, that's okay too. Nothing about this experience needs to be done correctly. There is no hidden test here. No special way you are supposed to feel by now. No perfect level of calm you must achieve before sleep can slowly move closer. The more gently you allow yourself to exist exactly as you are tonight, the less pressure your body may begin carrying. And pressure can soften now. The pressure to sleep, the pressure to stop thinking, the pressure to relax, the pressure to finally feel different. For now, you can let all of that rest beside you instead of inside you. Your mind may continue making small sounds in the background, almost like distant movement far away. And those thoughts do not need your full attention anymore. They can come and go without needing answers tonight. Without needing action tonight. You can simply remain here quietly, resting your body, listening softly, allowing the night to become slower around you. And little by little, your body may begin understanding that it no longer needs to stay prepared for something. The shoulders may soften slightly more. The jaw may loosen without effort. The muscles around the eyes may begin releasing the small tension they have been holding all day. Not because you are forcing relaxation, but because the body often softens naturally when it realizes there is nothing left to perform, nothing left to prove, nothing left to get right. And even if your mind drifts away from these words again and again, you are still doing perfectly fine. You can drift, you can lose track, you can float somewhere between awareness and sleep. This experience can continue carrying you gently without needing anything back from you. Can you feel how there is less and less you need to hold on to right now? The night can become softer from here, slower from here, quieter from here. You do not need to make that happen. You can simply allow yourself to rest beside the sound of these words for a while. Without effort, without expectation, without needing to stay fully aware of every sentence. Your body may already be beginning to settle into a calmer rhythm, a quieter rhythm, the kind of rhythm that asks nothing from you except permission to soften little by little. And you can soften little by little. There is no rush, no timeline, no pressure to arrive anywhere. You can simply rest here now, listening a little, drifting a little, resting a little more each moment. Your thoughts may continue moving softly in the distance, and that's okay. They do not need to disappear all at once. You do not need to push them away. They can slowly grow quieter on their own as your body begins feeling safer here in the stillness of the night. Safe to rest, safe to loosen, safe to stop carrying so much for a while. And as those ideas repeat gently, your mind may no longer need to work so hard. The repetition itself can begin feeling calming, familiar, predictable, like something your nervous system no longer needs to analyze, nothing to solve, nothing to hold together, nothing to prepare for. Only this moment. Only this breath moving naturally. Only this quiet support underneath you. You may notice yourself drifting in and out of attention now. Listening closely for a moment, then floating farther away for another moment. That gentle drifting is okay. You do not need to stay connected to every word. Your body can continue relaxing even when your attention becomes softer and more distant. The slower this moment becomes, the more your body may begin responding to that slowness naturally. Muscles loosening quietly, breathing becoming easier, thoughts stretching farther apart without force. And if the mind speaks, again, you can let it speak softly in the background, while the rest of you continues settling downward into comfort, into stillness, into rest. You are not behind tonight. You are not doing this wrong. You are simply unwinding in your own time. And your body already knows how to follow this slower rhythm now. A rhythm that does not demand anything. A rhythm that allows you to drift, soften, and gradually disappear into deeper and deeper rest whenever your mind and body are ready. Have you noticed how the body sometimes continues holding tension long after the day has already ended? There may still be small places in your body quietly holding on without you even realizing it. Tiny areas that stayed alert through conversations, responsibilities, decisions, worries, and long hours of thinking. And often, the face carries more of that quiet effort than we notice during the day. You may begin becoming aware of the area around the eyes now, not needing to change anything. Just noticing the way the muscles there may slowly begin softening on their own as the night continues, becoming quieter around you. The forehead may also begin loosening little by little, as though the mind no longer needs to hold itself so tightly together, as though the space between thoughts is slowly widening, becoming softer, calmer, easier to rest inside. And around the mouth and jaw, there may be small layers of tension still lingering gently beneath the surface. So many people carry the weight of the day there without realizing it. Holding conversations that already ended. Holding emotions that no longer need protecting tonight. Holding effort long after effort is needed. But right now, nothing needs to be held so tightly. Your jaw may naturally begin unclenching in tiny, almost unnoticeable ways. The tongue may settle more heavily. The muscles around the cheeks may soften quietly as your body slowly realizes there is nowhere else you need to be right now. And there can be something deeply calming about allowing the face to rest completely, as though the mind itself receives a quiet signal that it no longer needs to stay so alert, no longer needs to monitor everything, no longer needs to prepare for the next thing. You can simply rest here, softening little by little, without effort, without trying to relax perfectly. Your eyes may feel heavier now, not forced closed, just heavier in a natural way. Resting more deeply against the darkness behind them, the forehead smoother, the jaw quieter, the entire face beginning to lose the tension of the day one layer at a time. And if thoughts continue drifting through the mind, they may already feel slightly farther away now, slightly dimmer, less sharp around the edges, as though the body is beginning to settle into a calmer rhythm first, allowing the mind to slowly follow afterward. There is nothing you need to hold together tonight, nothing you need to brace against, nothing you need to keep carrying in your face, your jaw, your eyes. You can let the night hold some of that for you now. And as these small areas continue softening gently in their own time, your whole body may begin understanding something simple and safe, that it is allowed to rest now, allowed to loosen now, allowed to become still without needing to stay prepared anymore. What if your body no longer needed to carry the weight of the entire day tonight? There are places in the body that quietly learn to hold responsibility. The neck, the shoulders, the upper chest. Areas that remain slightly tightened for hours at a time, often without being noticed. As though some part of the body has been trying to stay prepared for everything all at once. And now, lying here in the quiet of the night, those areas may slowly begin realizing they no longer need to work so hard. You may notice the feeling of your neck resting more fully against whatever supports it, not forcing release, not trying to create relaxation, simply allowing the body to feel held for a moment instead of always holding itself up. The shoulders may also begin settling differently now, tiny shifts, small softenings, the kind that happen naturally when the nervous system starts, understanding that there is nothing urgent happening anymore. Nothing to manage right now, nothing to carry right now, nothing to brace against right now. And your body may respond to that safety slowly and quietly. The upper chest can soften too. The space around the collarbones, the muscles near the heart, the areas that often tighten when the mind has been overstimulated for too long. You do not need to consciously relax those places. Your body already knows how to loosen when it feels supported enough. So you can simply let yourself be supported here, supported by the bed beneath you, supported by the stillness around you. supported by this slow and gentle moment where nothing more is being asked from you tonight. Your breathing may already be changing slightly on its own. Not because you are controlling it, but because the body often breathes differently when the shoulders no longer feel responsible for carrying tension. The chest may rise more softly now. The exhale may leave the body more easily. And even if the mind continues drifting from thought to thought sometimes, the body can continue settling anyway. The neck softening a little more, the shoulders sinking slightly heavier, the upper chest becoming quieter and less guarded with each passing moment. You do not need to help this happen. You do not need to monitor whether you are relaxed enough. The body understands this language naturally, the language of support, the language of stillness, the language of finally not needing to stay so prepared. And little by little, as the upper body continues releasing what it no longer needs to hold tonight, a deeper sense of heaviness may begin spreading through you. A calm heaviness, a safe heaviness, the kind that slowly pulls the body closer and closer toward rest without force, without pressure, and without effort. Can you feel how the body already knows how to breathe without needing your effort? Even after long days and restless thoughts, the breath continues quietly on its own, gentle, automatic, steady beneath everything else. And tonight, you do not need to control it or change it in order to rest more deeply. You can simply notice the natural movement already happening inside you, the soft rising and falling through the chest, the quiet rhythm moving through the body, the small pauses that appear naturally between breaths without needing to be created. There is nothing to force here, nothing to slow down manually. Sometimes, the nervous system settles more easily when it is finally left alone for a while, when the body no longer feels watched so closely, when breathing is allowed to become natural again instead of something that must be managed correctly. And as you continue lying here, your chest may already be beginning to soften in quiet ways, the muscles around the heart loosening slightly, the breathing becoming less guarded, less restricted, as though the body is slowly remembering that it no longer needs to stay prepared for the next thing tonight. You may even notice the heartbeat differently now. Not something urgent, not something demanding attention, just a steady presence inside you. A quiet rhythm continuing faithfully beneath all the thoughts, beneath all the tension, beneath the long movement of the day. And your awareness can rest beside that rhythm for a while, not focusing too hard, not analyzing, simply noticing, simply allowing. The chest can continue softening little by little with each natural breath that comes and goes on its own. And if thoughts appear again, they can drift through gently without interrupting this slower rhythm forming underneath everything else. Your body already understands how to move toward calm. It already understands how to settle. Even now, without effort, the breath may be becoming softer around the edges, easier, quieter. The spaces between thoughts may be widening in the same gentle way the body widens into rest. You do not need to breathe deeply. You do not need to relax perfectly. You can simply let the body breathe you tonight. Let the chest rise naturally. Let the chest fall naturally. Let the nervous system slowly discover that it is safe to become quieter now. And as this quiet rhythm continues repeating softly inside you, the body may begin feeling heavier against the bed, more supported, more distant from the pace of the day, as though each breath is carrying you a little farther away from effort and a little closer towards stillness. The night can hold you here for a while. The breath can continue on its own, and your body can keep softening gently without needing anything more from you now. What if your body could become a little heavier now, without effort, without needing to let go all at once? There may already be a growing sense of softness spreading quietly through you. A slow heaviness, moving gently downward through the body as the night continues, becoming calmer and more distant around you. You may notice the arms first. The way they rest without needing to do anything anymore. The muscles no longer preparing for movement. The hands no longer needing to hold, carry, type, reach, or respond. Just resting quietly now. The fingers may feel warmer, softer, heavier against the surface beneath them. And that heaviness can feel safe, not heavy in a difficult way. Heavy in the way the body feels, when it finally begins understanding that it no longer needs to stay alert. Your awareness may drift gently toward the stomach now, the center of the body slowly softening. The area that often tightens quietly during long days of thinking, worrying, anticipating, and holding tension beneath the surface. And tonight, nothing needs to be held there anymore. The stomach can loosen gradually in its own time. The body can stop bracing little by little. Even the deeper muscles inside you may begin softening naturally as your nervous system settles further into this feeling of support. You may notice the hips becoming heavier too, resting more completely into the bed beneath you. Letting gravity hold more of your weight now. Letting the surface underneath you carry what you no longer need to carry alone tonight. There is something deeply calming about allowing the body to be fully supported, not lifting, not preparing, not resisting rest. Just resting, just sinking gently downward. And from the hips into the legs, that heaviness may continue spreading slowly. The thighs softening, the knees quiet, the calves releasing the effort of the day. Even the feet may begin feeling distant and relaxed, as though the entire lower half of the body is slowly dissolving into stillness. You do not need to make this happen. The body often knows exactly what to do once it feels safe enough. Safe enough to stop holding tension. Safe enough to stop preparing. Safe enough to become still. And as warmth, softness, and heaviness continue moving quietly through the body, your mind may also begin drifting farther into background, thoughts becoming slower, less important, less demanding. There is only this moment now, this quiet room, this gentle support beneath you, this growing feeling that your whole body can finally rest a little more deeply tonight. Can you feel how your body no longer needs to hold itself quite so tightly now? The deeper the body settles, the less effort it begins to require. Muscles that were quietly working in the background all day may already be softening without needing your attention anymore. The body can continue unwinding naturally now, almost by itself, as though it is remembering something familiar, the feeling of no longer needing to stay prepared, no longer needing to stay braced, no longer needing to carry the entire weight of the day through the night. Your body may feel heavier now in a comforting way, softer against the bed, more settled into the stillness beneath you. And with that heaviness can come a gentle drifting sensation, almost as though parts of the body are becoming less defined and less active. The arms, resting so completely they barely need awareness anymore. The legs feeling distant and quiet. The shoulders no longer asking for attention. Even the face may feel softer and farther away now, resting deeply in stillness. You do not need to check on the body anymore. You do not need to monitor whether relaxation is happening correctly. The body already knows how to surrender gradually when there is finally enough safety, enough quiet, enough permission to stop holding on. And tonight, there is permission to let go little by little, permission to soften, permission to drift, permission to become still without needing to stay mentally alert. You may notice that the more supported the body feels, the less important physical effort becomes. Breathing happens naturally. Rest happens naturally. Even awareness itself may begin loosening around the edges, becoming softer, slower, less attached to the outside world. The room may already feel farther away now, the day farther away, thoughts farther away. And somewhere underneath everything, there may be a growing sense that your body is slowly sinking into deeper comfort on its own. You can simply remain here, heavy, warm, supported, quiet, allowing gravity to hold you completely for a while, allowing the night to carry some of the weight you have been carrying alone. And if your mind drifts in and out of these words, that's okay. You do not need to stay connected to every sentence. The body can continue relaxing even when attention fades softly into the background. In many ways, that fading is part of the process, part of the gentle surrender, part of the slow movement away from effort and toward rest. Yod is learning that imod, it can loosen, can soften. It can grow heavier and quieter with each passing moment. And as that quiet heaviness spreads naturally through you, sleep may already be moving closer in the distance without needing to be chased at all. What if your thoughts did not need to disappear for your body to continue moving toward rest? Many people become afraid of an active mind at night. The moment thoughts appear, another layer of tension appears beside them. A feeling that something is going wrong. A feeling that sleep is becoming farther away. And sometimes that fear of thinking becomes more exhausting than the thoughts themselves. But tonight, your thoughts do not need to become a problem. The mind naturally continues moving for a while after the day is over, especially after carrying responsibilities, emotions, conversations, decisions, and quiet stress beneath the surface for so long. Thoughts can continue echoing softly, even while the body begins resting more deeply underneath them. And that is okay. You do not need to stop every thought. You do not need to follow every thought either. You can simply let thoughts move through the background like distant sounds that no longer require your full attention. Some thoughts may feel unfinished. Some may repeat themselves. Some may appear suddenly and disappear just as quickly. None of that means you are failing to rest. In fact, your body may already be relaxing more than you realize. The shoulders softer, the jaw quieter, the breath slower, the body heavier against the bed, even while thoughts continue drifting gently through the mind. Because thoughts and relaxation can exist together for a while. You do not need to wait for perfect silence before allowing yourself to rest. And the more gently you allow the mind to do what minds naturally do sometimes, the less pressure the nervous system may begin carrying. Thoughts often lose intensity when they are no longer treated like emergencies. So, tonight, nothing needs immediate answers. Nothing needs solving before sleep. Nothing needs to be figured out right now. The night does not require decisions from you. The bed beneath you does not ask you to think harder. This moment asks nothing from you except permission to rest here as you are. And if your mind wanders again, that's okay. If another thought arrives, that's okay. If your attention drifts far away from these words for a while, that's okay too. You can continue softening underneath it all. You can continue resting underneath it all. Your body already knows how to move closer towards sleep, even when the mind is still unwinding slowly in the background. And little by little, thoughts may begin feeling less sharp now, less urgent, more distant somehow, as though they are slowly losing energy while the body keeps settling deeper into stillness. You do not need to push the mind away tonight. You can simply stop carrying it so tightly. And the moment you stop fighting your thoughts, your entire system may begin relaxing in a softer and more natural way. What if you no longer needed to enter every thought that passes through your mind tonight? Thoughts can continue moving for a while, just like clouds moving slowly across a quiet sky. Some arrive softly, some repeat themselves. Some seem important for a moment before fading on their own. And your mind does not need to chase after each one anymore. You can simply notice them. A thought appearing, a thought drifting away, another one arriving quietly behind it. And somewhere beneath all of that movement, there can still be rest. You do not need to solve every thought in order to feel safe tonight. You do not need to analyze every feeling before your body is allowed to soften further. The mind may continue speaking gently in the background for a while, and you can begin allowing those thoughts to exist without immediately stepping inside them. Just noticing, just observing, just letting the mind unwind in its own natural rhythm. Some thoughts may feel unfinished. Some may feel repetitive. Some may make no sense at all. That is often what the mind does as it begins drifting between wakefulness and rest. Thoughts lose structure. Attention loosens. The inner world becomes softer around the edges. And you do not need to hold on to any of it. You may notice that the moment you stop treating thoughts as urgent, they begin changing on their own. They may move more slowly, fade more quickly, become quieter without needing force. Not because you made them disappear, but because your nervous system no longer feels responsible for controlling them perfectly. There can be relief in that. Relief in no longer managing every thought. Relief in no longer needing to stay mentally prepared. Relief in simply allowing the mind to move naturally while the body continues resting more deeply underneath it all. You can let thoughts come. You can let thoughts go. You can remain here quietly while the mind drifts in whatever direction it wants for now. And even when attention follows a thought for a moment, you can always return gently to the softness underneath you. The weight of the bed, the calm rhythm of the breath, the stillness slowly spreading through the body. No urgency, no pressure. No need to pull the mind back forcefully. The mind can wander, the body can rest. Both things can happen together tonight. And as this softer relationship with your thoughts begins settling into place, you may notice a growing sense of distance between you and the constant movement of the mind. Not disconnected in a cold way. Just less tangled inside every passing thought. More space, more softness, more quiet between moments. And in that quiet space, the body may continue drifting naturally toward deeper and deeper rest without needing the mind to lead the way anymore. Have you noticed how some thoughts return at night simply because the mind is searching for certainty or closure? The same ideas can circle gently through the mind again and again, revisiting conversations, replaying moments, trying to prepare for tomorrow, trying to solve something before sleep arrives. And often, the mind continues looping not because the thoughts are truly urgent, but because the nervous system has not fully realized that the day is allowed to end. And tonight, the day can end slowly now. You do not need to continue following every loop. You do not need to keep entering every unfinished thought. A thought can appear without needing an answer. A memory can surface without needing analysis. A question can exist without being solved tonight. You can simply let thoughts pass quietly through the background of awareness, the same way distant sounds pass through a quiet room without demanding your attention. Some thoughts may stay for a few moments. Some may fade quickly. Some may repeat themselves again later. And none of that needs to become a problem. The mind often repeats things when it feels pressure to stop repeating them. So tonight, there is no pressure, no struggle against the movement of the mind. No need to force silence, where silence has not fully arrived yet. You can let the thoughts move. You can let them drift. You can let them become softer around the edges on their own. And while thoughts continue passing through gently, your body can continue resting underneath them, the breath soft, the chest quiet, the muscles heavy against the bed, the nervous system slowly unwinding without needing mental perfection first. You may notice that the less attention you give certain thoughts, the lighter they begin to feel. Not because they disappear instantly, but because they stop pulling so strongly at your awareness. They begin moving farther into the distance, like echoes becoming quieter over time. And if another loop begins again, that's okay too. You do not need to stop it forcefully. You can simply notice it and let it continue, drifting without climbing fully inside it. Thoughts passing, thoughts fading, thoughts moving softly through the night. Nothing to solve right now. Nothing to hold on to right now. Nothing requiring immediate action right now. The body can remain here safely while the mind slowly unwinds at its own pace. And little by little, the emotional charge around certain thoughts may begin dissolving. The urgency softening, the attachment loosening, as though the mind itself is becoming more tired of carrying so much and more willing to let things drift away for the night. You can rest without having everything figured out. You can soften without complete certainty. You can sleep without solving every thought first. And your body may already be beginning to understand that more deeply now. What if your mind could become slower now, without needing to force itself into silence? There is nothing your thoughts need to reach tonight, nothing they need to finish, nothing they need to solve before rest is allowed to deepen. The mind can slow gradually, naturally, quietly, one soft moment at a time. You may already notice that thoughts are beginning to move differently now, less sharp, less urgent, appearing and fading with softer edges than before, as though the mind itself is becoming more distant from the pace of the day, and you do not need to help that happen. You can simply remain here, listening softly, resting softly, breathing softly, allowing everything to become a little slower now, a little quieter now, a little farther away now, the body resting, the mind drifting, the night holding you gently underneath it all. Thoughts may still appear from time to time, but they no longer need to pull you completely into them. They can float through quietly while the rest of you continues softening deeper into stillness. And with each passing moment, there may be less energy behind the thinking, less urgency, less effort, less need to keep following every mental movement all the way to the end. You can let thoughts remain unfinished tonight. You can let questions remain unanswered tonight. You can let the mind loosen its grip slowly now. The rhythm of the night is slower than the rhythm of the day. And your body may already be beginning to follow that slower rhythm naturally, the breath softer, the chest quieter, the muscles heavier, the thoughts wider apart. everything becoming softer around the edges. You may notice yourself drifting more often now. Moments where attention fades gently. Moments where these words become distant for a while before returning again. That drifting is okay. That drifting can feel safe. You do not need to stay fully awake inside this experience. You do not need to hold on to every sentence. You can drift. You can float. You can rest somewhere between listening and sleep. And the slower the mind becomes, the less it needs from you. Nothing to manage, nothing to control, nothing to hold together. Only this quiet unfolding into stillness. Only this gentle movement away from effort. Only this growing softness spreading through the body and mind together now. And somewhere beneath all the remaining thoughts, beneath the fading awareness, beneath the slow rhythm of these words, your nervous system may already be settling into a deeper and deeper sense of safety tonight. Have you noticed how there are moments at night when you are no longer fully focused, yet not fully asleep either? A quiet in-between space. A softer space. A place where thoughts loosen, attention drifts, and the mind no longer needs to stay completely connected to everything around it. And you may already be moving gently toward that space now. You can continue listening to these words for a while. Or you can drift farther away from them. Both are okay. Both allow the body to continue resting more deeply. Your attention no longer needs to work hard here. It can soften naturally, the same way the body softens naturally when it begins feeling safe enough. Some moments you may hear every word clearly. Other moments the voice may feel distant, almost blending into the background of the night. That drifting is not something you need to resist. It can feel coming to let awareness move freely now, floating closer for a moment, drifting farther away for another, returning gently when it wants to, leaving again when it becomes tired. You do not need to stay fully present. You do not need to hold on to the meaning of every sentence. Your deeper mind can continue listening quietly even while your conscious attention becomes softer and less active. And as that happens, thoughts may begin changing shape now, becoming less organized, less structured, more dreamlike around the edges. One thought fading into another without urgency, one moment blending gently into the next. The body resting, the breath continuing softly, the mind drifting further. You may even lose track of time for a while now. Lose track of where one thought ended and another began. Lose track of whether you were listening closely or simply floating beside the sound of these words. And that's okay. Nothing important depends on your full attention anymore. You can let the experience carry you now. Let the rhythm carry you. Let the softness carry you. Let the quiet repetition gently pull you farther away from effort and farther into rest. There can be comfort in no longer needing to stay mentally alert, comfort in allowing awareness to loosen slowly, comfort in realizing that sleep does not require perfect focus. Sometimes sleep arrives when focus itself begins dissolving naturally, and your body may already understand that deeply now. The heaviness beneath you, the warmth around you, the slow fading of active thought, the feeling of becoming quieter from the inside out. You can remain here in this soft in-between space for as long as you need tonight, half listening, half drifting, slowly floating deeper into stillness while the mind becomes lighter, quieter, and less attached to staying awake. And somewhere, in the distance, sleep may already be drawing closer without needing to announce itself at all. What if, for this moment, your body no longer needed to protect you from anything? So much Tension can come from the feeling of needing to stay ready. Ready for problems, ready for pressure, ready for emotional weight that never seems fully finished. And even at night, long after the day has ended, the nervous system can continue holding that quiet sense of responsibility beneath the surface. But right now, in this moment, there is nowhere you need to go. Nothing you need to defend against. Nothing demanding immediate attention from you. You are here, supported here, held here, safe enough to soften a little more now. The bed beneath you continues holding your weight without effort. The room around you remains still and quiet. The night itself can become a kind of shelter for a while, a calm space where your body no longer needs to stay so alert. And your nervous system may slowly begin noticing that safety, not all at once, not forcefully, just gradually, quietly, like a soft message repeating gently underneath everything else. You are safe here. Safi to rest. Safi to loosen. Safe to stop carrying so much for a while. You may notice how different the body feels when it no longer believes it must remain prepared. The shoulders settling more deeply. The chest becoming less guarded. The breath moving more naturally again. Even the thoughts themselves may begin losing some of their urgency as the body starts understanding that this moment is not dangerous. Nothing needs to happen right now. Nothing needs to be solved before morning. You can simply exist here for a while without needing to hold everything together. And if the mind still checks the room sometimes, still searches for tension sometimes, that's okay too. The nervous system learns safety slowly, patiently, one soft moment at a time, so there is no need to rush this feeling. No need to force trust. No need to make yourself relax perfectly. You can simply allow the possibility that, for tonight, this moment may already be safe enough. Safe enough for the jaw to soften. Safe enough for the breath to deepen naturally. Safe enough for awareness itself to become quieter and heavier. And the more the body feels supported, the less tightly it may continue holding onto old tension patterns. The less tightly the mind may continue circling around unfinished thoughts. Because safety changes the rhythm of the entire system. Safety allows the body to rest. Safety allows the mind to drift. Safety allows sleep to move closer without resistance. You are not required to earn that safety tonight. You do not need to prove anything before receiving rest. You can simply let yourself be held here quietly now, while the night continues softening gently around you and your whole body settles deeper into calm. What if you could allow yourself to drift a little deeper now without needing to know exactly how it happens? There are moments at night when the mind begins loosening naturally. Thoughts becoming softer, awareness becoming quieter. The body sinking more deeply into stillness while another part of you slowly drifts inward, farther away from effort and closer toward rest. And you may already be beginning to feel that gentle movement now. Not a sudden change, just a slow descent. A quiet settling, as though the body is gradually lowering itself into deeper calm, one soft layer at a time. You can imagine nothing more than moving gently downward now. Falling, not forcing, just drifting lower into comfort, into heaviness, into safety. And with each slow number, there can be a little less effort inside you. 10. The body resting more fully now. The shoulders heavier, the jaw softer. The mind no longer needing to stay completely focused. 9. Drifting slightly deeper, breathing naturally. The room around you becoming more distant and unimportant. 8. Thoughts slowing softly in the background. some fading before they fully form, some dissolving before they ask for attention. 7. A growing sense of heaviness underneath you. The body sinking gently into support. Nothing to hold on to. Nothing to resist. 6. Awareness becoming softer around the edges now. Listening and drifting at the same time. Floating somewhere between thought and rest. 5. The nervous system loosening a little more. No urgency. No shell. Only this quiet descent into stillness. 4. The mind no longer needing to follow every word closely. The deeper parts of you already understanding this rhythm naturally. 3. Everything becoming quieter now. Slower now. Softer now. The body resting deeper with every passing moment. 2. A calm heaviness spreading gently through you. Safe to drift, safe to let go. Safe to become still. 1. Resting here now. Quietly, deeply, without effort. And after the numbers fade, the feeling can continue. The soft downward drifting. The quiet distance growing between you and the busy movement of the day. As though your awareness is floating farther away from tension and closer toward a calm place underneath thought itself. You do not need to stay fully awake inside this experience anymore. You do not need to monitor where your attention goes. The deeper mind can continue receiving these gentle patterns while the conscious mind becomes softer, slower, and less active. And somewhere beneath all the remaining thoughts, beneath the fading awareness, beneath the slow rhythm of your breathing, there may already be a growing sense that your whole system is beginning to trust this deeper calm now. A calm that does not demand effort, a calm that does not require control. A calm that simply invites you to keep drifting downward gently into rest. What if you no longer needed to check how relaxed you are becoming tonight? Sometimes the mind continues watching itself even while the body is trying to rest, quietly measuring, quietly evaluating, wondering whether sleep is getting closer yet, wondering whether the thoughts are slowing enough, wondering whether this feeling is finally working. And that constant checking can slowly begin softening now. You do not need to monitor this experience anymore. You do not need to keep track of where you are inside it. Your body already knows how to continue settling on its own. Your mind already knows how to drift when it no longer feels responsible for controlling every moment. So you can let go of the need to evaluate, let go of the need to measure, let go of the need to follow everything so carefully. There is nowhere you need to arrive, nothing you need to achieve before rest is allowed to deepen. You can simply continue drifting quietly now. The body heavy, the breath soft, the thoughts slower and farther apart. And even if the mind briefly returns to checking again, that's okay too. You do not need to fight that habit. You can simply notice it gently and allow it to fade back into the background like everything else tonight. Nothing urgent. Nothing important to solve right now. Only this slow softening. Only this quiet rhythm repeating gently underneath the mind. Resting deeper now. Drifting softer now. Letting go a little more now. The more the mind stops observing itself so closely, the easier it may become for awareness to loosen naturally. Thoughts may begin blending together more softly. Time may begin feeling less clear. Even these words may start passing through you without needing full attention anymore. And that is okay. You are not required to stay fully connected to this experience. You can float beside it. You can drift beneath it. You can let the sound of the voice become part of the background while your body continues sinking deeper into stillness. Nothing to monitor, nothing to control, Nothing to hold together. Only the feeling of becoming quieter inside. The feeling of moving farther away from effort. The feeling of slowly dissolving out of the busy surface of the mind and into something calmer underneath it all. You may notice now that the slower everything becomes, the less important thinking itself begins to feel. Thoughts appearing and fading without needing reaction. Awareness softening without needing direction. The nervous system continuing its quiet descent into rest all by itself. And your only job now is to allow that process to continue naturally, without pressure, without checking, without needing to know exactly when sleep arrives. Because your body already understands the way there. And little by little, it may already be carrying you there now. Can you feel how awareness itself is beginning to soften now, becoming lighter and quieter with each passing moment? There is less and less you need to hold on to. Less effort inside the mind, less tension inside the body. As though some deeper part of you has begun quietly drifting away from the surface of waking thought and into something slower, softer, and more distant. You may notice moments now where the body feels very heavy while the mind feels light and floating. Or perhaps the opposite. The body fading gently into the bed while awareness drifts softly somewhere, in between listening and dreaming. And you do not need to understand any of it perfectly. You can simply allow the feeling, a slow floating, a quiet sinking, a gentle dimming of effort and attention, the body becoming softer beneath you, the mind becoming farther away, the night becoming wider and quieter around you. It may feel almost as though you are sinking slightly deeper with every breath that comes and goes naturally on its own. Not sinking quickly, just slowly lowering into comfort, lowering into stillness, lowering into a calmer and quieter state where thoughts no longer feel so close. And at the same time, another part of you may feel light and drifting, floating gently beyond the need to think clearly, floating beyond the need to follow every word, floating farther from the weight of the day, heavy and light at the same time, still and drifting at the same time, listening and dreaming at the same time. You may notice the edges of awareness becoming softer now, less defined, less focused. The room around you becoming distant. Time becoming less important. Thoughts becoming faint and dreamlike as they pass quietly through the background. Nothing needs your full attention anymore. Nothing needs to be understood completely. The deeper mind already knows how to continue drifting naturally from here. And the more you allow yourself to float gently beside these words without effort, the calmer everything may begin feeling inside you, the nervous system slowing further, the body resting deeper, awareness dimming softly like lights growing lower and quieter at the end of the day. You can continue sinking, continue floating, continue drifting softly between wakefulness and sleep. Safe here, supported here, held gently by the stillness underneath you. And if moments come where you lose track completely for a while, that's okay too. Those moments can feel peaceful, spacious, calm, like little openings into deeper rest where the thinking mind no longer needs to stay fully present. The body already understands this softer rhythm now, the rhythm of letting go, the rhythm of becoming still, the rhythm of floating farther and farther away from effort while sleep quietly moves closer all on its own. What if this calm could continue deepening naturally now, without needing anything more from you? There is nowhere else you need to go tonight, nothing else you need to figure out, nothing left to hold together for a while. Your body can continue resting exactly here, exactly like this, while everything inside you becomes slower, softer, and quieter in its own time. The heaviness beneath you may feel deeper now, more natural now, as though the body has stopped resisting the support underneath it and finally allowed itself to be carried fully by the bed, by the stillness, by the quiet rhythm of the night. And your thoughts may continue slowing too, not forced into silence, not pushed away, just drifting farther apart now, softer around the edges, less urgent, less demanding, like distant echoes slowly fading into the background. You do not need to follow them anymore. You do not need to keep checking where your mind is going. You can simply remain here, in this gentle drifting state where awareness no longer needs to work so hard. The body resting, the breath moving softly, the mind loosening slowly. Everything continuing naturally without effort. And underneath all of that, there may be a growing feeling of safety spreading quietly through your entire system. A deeper understanding that this moment does not require vigilance anymore. That the body no longer needs to brace itself. That the mind no longer needs to remain so active and prepared. You are safe enough to soften further now. Safe enough to drift further now. Safe enough to become heavier and quieter with each passing moment. The night is holding you gently. The bed beneath you is holding you gently. Even the rhythm of these words may feel like something steady and predictable now, something the nervous system no longer needs to analyze, only rest beside quietly. And the more familiar this calm becomes, the more naturally the body may continue following it downward into deeper stillness. Thoughts fading sooner, tension releasing sooner, awareness drifting sooner, nothing forced, nothing rushed, everything softening in its own natural rhythm. You may notice now that there is less separation between listening and resting, less difference between awareness and drifting. The mind no longer needs to stay fully awake to continue receiving this feeling of calm. You can drift farther away whenever you want. You can lose track of these words completely for a while. You can float quietly in that soft space between sleep and awareness where everything feels distant, slow, and safe. And even if thoughts return softly from time to time, they may no longer carry the same weight. They may pass through gently while the body continues resting underneath them, undisturbed and calm. Because your system is already learning something important tonight. That rest does not require struggle. That calm does not require control. That sleep can arrive quietly when nothing inside you is fighting so hard anymore. And as this deep calm continues settling more fully into the body and mind together, you can simply allow yourself to keep drifting slowly downward into comfort, into softness, into sleep. What if calm was not something you needed to force, but something your body was slowly remembering on its own? There may have been nights when rest felt distant. Nights where the mind stayed active long after the body became tired. Nights where you felt responsible for trying harder to relax, trying harder to let go, trying harder to finally sleep. And yet tonight, something softer may already be happening underneath all of that effort. You are becoming someone who no longer needs to fight so hard against the night. Someone whose body is slowly learning that rest can feel safe again. Someone whose mind no longer needs to stay endlessly alert in order to feel protected. And this change does not need to happen suddenly. It can happen quietly, naturally, one soft night at a time. The nervous system learns through repetition, through safety, through gentle experiences like this one where nothing is demanded and nothing needs to be performed correctly. And each time your body softens into stillness, even slightly, it remembers. It remembers what calm feels like. It remembers what safety feels like. It remembers that rest is allowed. You are becoming more familiar with this feeling now. The feeling of no longer needing to stay mentally prepared all the time. The feeling of allowing thoughts to drift without following them so closely. The feeling of letting the body grow heavy without resisting rest. And your deeper mind may already be accepting these softer patterns more easily now, because there is no pressure attached to them, no forcing, no expectation, only gentle safety, gentle permission to keep drifting. You naturally deserve rest. You naturally deserve softness. You naturally deserve moments where nothing needs to be solved. And the more often your body experiences this kind of calm, the more familiar it may begin feeling. Like returning to something that was always inside you, beneath the tension, beneath the overthinking, beneath the long habit of staying alert. You are becoming someone who can soften more easily at night. Someone whose breathing slows naturally. Someone whose body begins recognizing bedtime as a safe place to let go. Someone whose mind no longer needs to hold on to every thought until morning. And none of this requires effort from you right now. Your body is already learning quietly underneath awareness itself, learning through stillness, learning through repetition, learning through safety. You do not need to wake up tomorrow completely transformed. You do not need to become perfectly calm overnight. You can simply continue allowing this softer identity to unfold naturally inside you, little by little, while your body keeps drifting deeper into comfort and rest tonight. What if your body has never forgotten how to rest, even during the nights when sleep felt far away? Sometimes after long periods of stress, overthinking, or emotional exhaustion, the nervous system can begin acting as though it must remain awake to stay safe. The body learns alertness slowly over time. And because it learns slowly, it can also learn calm slowly and gently in the same way. Not through force. Not through pressure. Not through trying harder every night. But through repeated moments of safety like this one. Moments where the body experiences stillness without danger, quiet without fear, rest without needing to earn it first. And your body may already be learning from this moment now, even without conscious effort. The nervous system responds to repetition, softness, to predictable calm. Every time you allow yourself to soften a little more, the body remembers. It remembers that it can loosen. It remembers that it can settle. It remembers that nighttime does not always need to feel tense or overwhelming. You are not broken for having difficulty resting sometimes. Your body has simply been trying to protect you in the ways it learned over time. And now, slowly, gently, it can begin learning something new. That the bed beneath you can feel safe. That closing your eyes can feel safe. That letting go of the day can feel safe. You do not need to teach the body aggressively. You do not need to discipline yourself into calm. The nervous system changes more deeply through patience than pressure. So tonight, your only job is to allow the body to keep experiencing this softness, this support, this stillness. And even if thoughts continue drifting through sometimes, your body can continue learning safety underneath them. The shoulders softening more quickly. The breath settling more naturally. The muscles releasing tension with less resistance than before. Small changes, quiet changes, natural changes. Your body is becoming more familiar with rest. More familiar with heaviness. more familiar with calm nights that do not require endless mental effort. And the deeper mind may already be beginning to trust this process now. Not because you've forced it to believe anything, but because the experience itself is becoming familiar, predictable, gentle, safe enough to stop bracing against. You are becoming someone whose body slowly remembers how to rest more easily. Someone whose nervous system no longer needs to stay constantly prepared. Someone whose mind can drift without fear. And this learning can continue quietly beneath awareness itself, night after night, moment after moment, without pressure and without urgency. Because the body already knows the way toward rest. It only needed safety long enough to remember. And tonight, you may already be giving yourself exactly that. What if you no longer needed to carry everything so carefully all the time? Some minds learn very early to stay alert, to think ahead, to notice everything, to prepare for every possibility before it arrives. And over Chimi, constantly monitoring the world can begin to feel normal, even during moments meant for rest. The mind becomes used to staying responsible. Responsible for solving, responsible for anticipating, responsible for holding everything together. And even now, part of you may still believe that relaxing too deeply means letting something important slip away. But tonight, nothing depends on your constant vigilance. Nothing in this moment requires you to stay mentally prepared. You are allowed to rest without earning it through exhaustion first. You are allowed to soften without finishing every thought. You are allowed to become quiet without losing your worth. And your body may already be beginning to understand that gently now. The nervous system no longer needing to stay so tightly guarded. The mind no longer needing to watch every feeling so closely. The heart no longer needing to carry every invisible responsibility through the night. You may notice how exhausting it has been to always remain slightly on alert inside yourself. Always trying to think correctly, respond correctly, handle things correctly, carry things correctly. And there can be relief in slowly stepping out of that role for a while. Relief in no longer managing everything tonight. Relief in allowing the world to continue turning without needing your constant attention for a few hours. You are becoming someone who can rest without guilt, someone who can loosen without fear, someone who does not need to stay perfect in order to feel safe. And none of this needs to happen forcefully. The body learns softness slowly. The mind learns trust slowly. The nervous system learns that it is allowed to stop bracing one gentle moment at a time. So, if part of you still wants to monitor everything, that's okay too. You do not need to fight that part. It has been trying to protect you for a long time. And tonight, it can begin resting too. It can rest beside the sound of these words. Rest beside the stillness of the room. Rest beside the steady support underneath your body. Nothing bad happens when you soften. Nothing bad happens when you stop over-managing the night. You do not need to control every thought before sleep arrives. You do not need to hold every emotion perfectly together. You do not need to remain mentally tense in order to deserve safety. And little by little, the deeper parts of you may begin accepting something new now. That calm can exist without complete certainty. That rest can happen without total control. That your value does not depend on staying endlessly responsible for everything around you. You can simply be here now, heavy, quiet, supported, allowing the protective parts of yourself to finally loosen a little. Allowing the overworked mind to finally drift a little farther away from effort. Allowing the body to remember what it feels like to exist without carrying the entire world through the night alone. What if the quiet of the night could begin feeling softer and safer inside you now? For some people, silence can feel unfamiliar at first. When the world becomes still, the mind sometimes tries to fill that space with thinking, remembering, preparing, or worrying. As though being emotionally guarded has become a habit the nervous system no longer notices during the day. But tonight, the silence does not need to hold pressure. It does not need to hold loneliness. It does not need to hold tension. It can simply become a calm space where your body is allowed to rest without needing to stay emotionally alert. You are supported here. Not because everything in life is perfect. Not because every answer has appeared. But because this moment itself is safe enough to soften inside. The bed beneath you is steady. The night around you is steady. And somewhere, underneath the movement of thoughts, your deeper self may already be discovering a quieter kind of steadiness too. A steadiness that does not come from controlling everything. A steadiness that does not depend on constant thinking. A steadiness that remains quietly present even while the mind drifts in and out of awareness. You may begin feeling that emotional softness spreading gently now, a quiet loosening inside the chest. A softer feeling around the heart. As though your entire system is slowly realizing it no longer needs to defend itself against the night. Nothing is demanding emotional effort from you right now. Nothing needs protecting in this moment. Nothing needs to be carried so tightly for the next few hours. And your nervous system may respond to that safety slowly and naturally, the breath becoming easier, the body heavier, the thoughts less emotionally charged as they pass softly through the background. You are becoming more familiar with this feeling now. The feeling of internal support. The feeling of emotional steadiness. The feeling of being safe enough to rest without constantly preparing yourself for something. And the more often your body experiences this kind of quiet safety, the more natural it may begin feeling over time, the night becoming less threatening. Silence becoming less overwhelming. Rest becoming less connected to struggle. You do not need to force yourself to feel perfectly calm tonight. You only need to allow a little more softness, a little more support, a little more willingness to let the body stop carrying so much emotional tension beneath the surface. And even if emotions rise and fall sometimes, you can remain supported underneath them, stable underneath them, safe enough to continue drifting gently toward rest. The deeper parts of you are already learning that nighttime can hold comfort too. Stillness can hold comfort too. Quiet can hold comfort too. And as that understanding settles more deeply into your body and mind together, you may notice yourself relaxing in a more complete way now. Not only physically, but emotionally too. Safe enough to soften. Safe enough to drift. Safe enough to rest fully here tonight. What if your mind could begin learning that nighttime is no longer a place of struggle? For a long time, the night may have felt connected to effort, to overthinking, to emotional tension, to lying awake trying to finally become calm enough to rest. And when that happens repeatedly, the body can begin expecting stress the moment nighttime arrives. But expectations can change slowly, gently, quietly, and tonight, your nervous system may already be beginning to experience the night in a different way, not as something to fight against, not as a long space filled with pressure and mental noise, but as a softer place, a safer place, a quieter place where the body is allowed to let go little by little. You are becoming more familiar with calm nights now, more familiar with resting instead of resisting, more familiar with allowing thoughts to drift without turning them into struggle, and the body learns through repetition. Each time you soften into the bed, each time you stop forcing sleep, each time you allow the night to simply hold you instead of battling against it, your nervous system remembers. It remembers that nighttime can feel safe. It remembers that darkness can feel peaceful. It remembers that stillness does not need to mean danger or loneliness or pressure. The more often this feeling repeats, the more natural it may begin feeling. The body recognizing bedtime as a signal for softness instead of vigilance. The mind recognizing quiet as something gentle instead of overwhelming. And this change does not need to happen consciously. Your deeper mind already understands emotional patterns more than words themselves. It understands repetition, safety, predictability, softness, and tonight, all of those things are surrounding you gently now. The steady rhythm of the voice, the stillness beneath your body, the calm darkness around you, the growing heaviness moving softly through the muscles and thoughts together. You may notice now that bedtime no longer needs to feel like something you survive. It can become something familiar instead. Familiar in the way soft blankets feel familiar. Familiar in the way deep exhaling feels familiar. Familiar in the way the body slowly learns where it is safe to loosen and let go. You are becoming someone who feels calmer at night. Someone whose thoughts lose urgency more quickly. Someone whose body begins settling naturally as bedtime approaches. Someone who no longer needs to fear the quiet hours before sleep. And even if some nights still feel restless sometimes, your nervous system can continue learning safety anyway. One gentle night at a time, one soft experience at a time. One moment of allowing instead of struggling at a time. Nights come emotionally, punsai mari persifu. More supportive, more safe. And as that feeling continues settling deeper into the body and mind together, sleep may begin arriving more naturally too. Not because you forced it to happen, but because your entire system is slowly remembering that nighttime was always meant to feel like rest. What if you could simply continue resting here now, without needing to go any deeper or do anything more? The body already understands this quiet rhythm. The softness underneath you, the slow movement of the breath, the gentle heaviness spreading through muscles that no longer need to stay alert. You can simply remain here while the night continues holding you calmly, breathing softly, resting softly, drifting softly. And there may be comfort now in how familiar this feeling is becoming, the body resting against the bed, the mind no longer chasing every thought so quickly, the nervous system slowly settling into a quieter pace, without needing effort or attention. Nothing to solve, nothing to prepare for, nothing needing immediate action tonight. Only this quiet moment continuing gently around you. Your arms resting heavily, your shoulders soft, your jaw loose and quiet. The breath moving naturally in and out without needing guidance. And as these familiar sensations repeat softly through the body, the mind may continue loosening its grip on the day. Thoughts fading sooner, attention drifting more easily, awareness becoming softer around the edges. You may notice moments where these words blend into the background completely for a while. Moments where listening becomes less active and more distant. That's okay. You do not need to stay fully connected here. You can drift in and out gently. You can rest beside the sound of the voice without following every sentence. The body already knows what to do now. The nervous system already understands this softer rhythm, a rhythm of heaviness, a rhythm of stillness, a rhythm of no longer needing to carry so much. And with every passing moment, the body may continue settling more deeply into comfort. The chest softer, the breathing quieter, the legs heavier against the bed beneath you. Everything slowing naturally, everything softening naturally, everything becoming calmer without force. You may notice how safe it feels to stop trying so hard now, safe to stop monitoring the mind, safe to stop chasing sleep, safe to simply exist here in this quiet drifting state where nothing is expected from you anymore. The night can carry you from here. The breath can continue from here. The body can keep softening from here. And even if thoughts appear softly from time to time, they may pass through more gently now, less sharp, less urgent, less important somehow. The deeper parts of you may already be resting more fully. The deeper parts of you may already be drifting closer towards sleep. And your conscious mind no longer needs to stay fully involved in the process. You can simply remain here quietly, heavy, warm, supported, safe enough to let awareness fade a little more now, safe enough to drift farther into softness now, safe enough to allow the body and mind to continue following this calm familiar rhythm deeper and deeper into rest tonight. Can you feel how safe it is becoming to drift now without needing to hold on to awareness so tightly? The body already knows this feeling, the feeling of being supported, the feeling of becoming heavier, the feeling of no longer needing to stay completely alert to the world around you. And you can continue allowing that feeling to deepen quietly now. There is nothing dangerous about softness tonight. Nothing dangerous about slowing down. Nothing dangerous about letting the mind wander gently farther away while the body continues resting here. Safely beneath everything else. You are supported. You are held. You are safe enough to loosen a little more now. The bed beneath you continues carrying your weight without effort. The room around you remains calm and still. And even as awareness drifts in and out softly, there is something steady underneath it all that does not disappear. A quiet sense of safety. A quiet sense of support. A quiet sense that nothing needs to be managed right now. Your breathing may feel softer now, the chest quieter, the muscles heavier, thoughts drifting through more faintly and more slowly than before. And the more your body experiences this calm rhythm repeating gently around you, the more naturally the nervous system may continue relaxing into it. Soft breath, heavy body, quiet mind, Safi night. Again and again, the body can return to these simple feelings without needing to think about them too deeply. Safe enough to drift, safe enough to soften, safe enough to rest more completely now. You do not need to remain mentally prepared anymore tonight. You do not need to stay watching every thought. You do not need to stay connected to every sound or every feeling. The deeper parts of you already understand that this moment is gentle, that this moment is quiet, that this moment does not ask anything difficult from you. And even if awareness fades for a while, you remain supported underneath that fading. Even if thoughts blur together softly, you remain safe underneath that drifting. Even if sleep begins arriving slowly now, your body already knows how to follow it naturally. You can continue floating gently between listening and dreaming, between awareness and sleep, between softness and stillness. Nothing abrupt, nothing urgent. Only this slow, quiet rhythm continuing again and again. The body heavy, the breath easy, the night calm, the mind loosening further now. And if your attention drifts away from these words completely for a moment, that's okay too. You do not need to come back immediately. You can continue resting softly wherever your awareness naturally goes. The nervous system no longer needs effort in order to feel safe tonight. It can simply keep learning through repetition, through stillness, through softness, through the familiar feeling of no longer needing to carry so much alone. And as that feeling settles more deeply into you now, the body may continue drifting downward naturally into deeper calm, deeper quiet, and deeper sleep. What if you could simply drift now without needing to know whether you are awake or asleep? There is less to follow now, less to hold on to, less to think about. Only this soft, quiet rhythm continuing gently around you, the body heavy, the breath slow, the mind drifting softly farther away. You can simply rest here, listening a little, floating a little, resting more deeply without effort. And if these words begin blending together softly, that's okay. If attention fades for a while, that's okay. If thoughts become distant and dreamlike, that's okay too. Nothing needs to stay clear anymore. Nothing needs sharp focus anymore. Only softness now. Only stillness now. Only this slow, quiet drifting. The bed beneath you, holding everything gently. The night around you, calm and distant. Your body becoming quieter with every passing moment. Your breathing continuing naturally. Your awareness softening naturally. You do not need to stay connected to every sentence. You do not need to remember anything. You can let the words move around you softly like distant sounds that no longer ask for attention, drifting now. Softly drifting, quietly drifting, the body heavy, the mind quiet, the night safe. Again and again, the same gentle rhythm returning. Nothing to solve, nothing to carry, nothing to prepare for, only stuff now. You may notice moments where you almost disappear from the words completely. Moments where awareness floats somewhere farther away before slowly returning again. And that drifting can feel peaceful. That drifting can feel safe. You do not need to pull yourself back fully. You can remain soft and distant. The deeper mind already understands. Already listening quietly underneath awareness itself. Already following this slower rhythm naturally. Heavy body. Soft breath, quiet mind, safe night, again and again, slower now, softer now, farther away now, the muscles loosening, the thoughts fading, the body sinking more deeply into support. You can continue drifting beside the sound of the voice, without effort, without focus, without needing to know where one thought ends and another begins. Everything softer around the edges now. Everything quieter inside now. The night holding you gently. The body resting deeply. The breath continuing softly on its own. And somewhere underneath all the drifting, underneath all the softness, sleep may already be surrounding you quietly now, moving closer and closer without needing your attention at all. What if nothing else needed to happen tonight except continuing to rest here softly? There is nowhere to go from here. Nothing new to understand. Nothing waiting for your attention. Only this quiet stillness continuing gently around you. The body resting, the breath moving softly. The mind becoming quieter and farther away. Everything remaining calm. Everything remaining safe. You can continue drifting without needing to follow time anymore. The night does not need to move quickly. The mind does not need to stay active. The body does not need to prepare for anything right now. Only this softness. Only this slow, steady rhythm, again and again. The body heavy. The breath easy. The thoughts distant. The night quiet. And as the same gentle feelings continue repeating softly through you, the nervous system may settle even deeper into this sense of safety. Nothing changing suddenly. Nothing demanding attention. Only the same calm stillness continuing naturally. You are supported here. You are held here. You are safe enough to remain soft. The room around you can stay distant now. The outside world becoming quieter and less important. Even time itself may feel softer now, less noticeable, less real somehow. There is only this moment, this breath, this heaviness, this quiet, drifting feeling continuing softly underneath everything else. And if awareness fades completely for a while, that's okay. If thoughts blur into dreams, that's okay. If the body becomes so relaxed that it no longer feels separate from the bed beneath you, that's okay too. Nothing needs to interrupt this calm. Nothing needs to pull you back into alertness. You can simply continue floating quietly inside this familiar rhythm. Soft body, slow breath, quiet mind, safe night. Again and again, the same gentle softness returning. The same stillness surrounding you. The same feeling of no longer needing to hold on to the day. And because nothing new is being asked from the mind, the deeper parts of you may continue relaxing more completely now, the thinking slowing further, the body sinking further, awareness becoming softer and less active. No urgency, no pressure, no sudden movement inside the mind. Only calm continuing quietly, only rest continuing quietly, only safety continuing quietly. You can remain here for as long as you need tonight, drifting slowly, resting deeply, allowing the nervous system to remain wrapped in this steady, predictable softness that asks nothing from you and changes nothing too quickly. The body already knows this rhythm now. The mind already recognizes this rhythm now. And sleep may continue moving around you gently, softly, naturally, without needing to announce itself at all. What if your body could begin recognizing this feeling as a familiar path toward rest each night? The more often the nervous system experiences softness like this, the more naturally it begins responding to it, not through effort, not through discipline, but through familiarity, the familiar heaviness beneath you, the familiar quiet rhythm of the breath, the familiar feeling of no longer needing to hold everything together for a while. And tonight, those feelings may already be becoming more deeply connected inside you now. This calm, this stillness, this soft drifting feeling, your body may already be beginning to recognize these moments as signals of safety, signals that the day is ending, signals that nothing more needs to be solved before rest can begin unfolding naturally. The bed beneath you becoming familiar. The softness in the chest becoming familiar. The slowing of thoughts becoming familiar. Again and again, the nervous system learns through repetition. Safe night, heavy body, quiet mind, soft breath. Again and again, the same calm returning gently. The same stillness surrounding you gently. The same feeling of emotional release moving quietly through the body. And overchimmy deeper mind responding these familiar patterns more quickly. The muscles softening sooner. The thoughts slowing sooner. The body recognizing that it no longer needs to remain alert once this calm rhythm begins. You do not need to force that learning. The body already understands repetition naturally. Every calm night leaves a quiet imprint. Every moment of softness teaches the nervous system something new about safety. Every time you allow yourself to drift without pressure, your body remembers a little more clearly that rest is possible. You are becoming more familiar with letting go, more familiar with stillness, more familiar with quiet evenings that do not require struggle. And this feeling can continue deepening gently each time you return here. The sound of the voice, the softness of the night, the predictable calmness, repeating again and again until the body no longer needs to question whether it is safe to rest, because safety is beginning to feel familiar now. Calm is beginning to feel familiar now. Sleep itself is beginning to feel familiar now. The deeper mind may already be responding to these patterns automatically, breathing slowing naturally, muscles softening naturally, awareness drifting naturally whenever this quiet rhythm returns. You can simply let that happen. You can simply allow the body to remember. Safe enough now, soft enough now, quiet enough now. Again and again, the same calm, the same support, the same gentle release from effort. And as the night continues surrounding you softly, your body may continue connecting this familiar feeling with deeper and deeper rest, the nervous system unwinding more easily, the mind loosening more easily, sleep arriving more naturally without needing to be chased. You do not need to think about how it happens anymore. The body already knows. The deeper mind already knows. And tonight, just like before, you can continue drifting gently inside this familiar quiet softness, while the rest of you slowly disappears deeper and deeper into sleep. What if you no longer needed to stay fully aware of anything now? The body already resting, the breath already soft, the night already quiet around you, nothing more to follow closely, nothing more to hold onto tightly, only this gentle drifting continuing softly now. The body heavy, the mind quiet, the breath slow. Again and again, you can let awareness become softer now, less focused, less active, like something slowly floating farther into the distance. And if these words begin fading into the background, that's okay. If thoughts blur softly into dreams, that's okay. If attention disappears for a while, that's okay too. Nothing depends on staying fully present anymore. Only softness now, only stillness now. Only this calm rhythm continuing quietly underneath everything else. You may notice the body feeling farther away now. The hands quiet, the legs heavy, the chest soft and calm. Everything resting without effort, everything slowing without effort. The mind no longer needing to follow every sentence clearly. You can simply drift beside the sound of the voice. Drift beside the breath. Drift beside the night itself. Safe here. Quiet here. Held gently here. Again and again. The same softness returning. The same heaviness returning. The same calm continuing quietly through the body and mind together. And the more awareness loosens, the more natural this drifting may begin to feel. No effort to stay awake. No effort to stay connected. Only resting now. Only floating now. Only becoming quieter now. The deeper mind already understands. Already softening. Already moving gently towards sleep. You can let everything become dimmer now. Softer now. Farther away now. The room distant. The thoughts distant. Even these words becoming softer and less important. Nothing to do, nothing to solve. nothing to remember. Only this slow, quiet fading into stillness, the breath continuing softly, the body resting deeply, the night holding you gently underneath it all. And somewhere inside this drifting quietness, sleep may already be surrounding you now, so softly that there is no need to notice exactly when awareness begins disappearing completely into rest. What if you could simply keep drifting now without needing to follow anything anymore? Nothing to keep track of. Nothing to stay connected to. Only softness now. Only quiet now. The body resting. The breath slow. The night calm around you. Again and again. Soft body. Quiet mind. Heavy stillness. You can let the words pass softly now. No need to hold them. No need to understand every part. Just drifting beside them. Floating beside them. Resting beneath them. The body becoming quieter. The thoughts becoming farther away. The awareness loosening gently now. And if moments disappear completely for a while, that's okay. If the mind fades into dreamlike spaces, that's okay. Nothing important needs your attention anymore. Only this softness continuing quietly, again and again. Heavy body, soft breath, safe night, the room distant now, the day distant now. Everything becoming softer around the edges, less clear, less active, less important somehow. You can let go of following. Let go of remembering. Let go of trying to stay awake enough to notice where you are inside this experience. The deeper mind already knows, already drifting, already softening further. And the body can continue sinking quietly now. Sinking gently, floating gently, resting deeply underneath all the fading thoughts. Nothing to solve, nothing to carry, nothing waiting for you tonight. Only calm now. Only this slow, quiet rhythm moving through you, again and again. Breathing softly, resting softly, drifting softly. The words becoming lighter now, farther away now, almost blending into the quietness around you. And you can disappear into that quietness whenever you want. No effort needed, no decision needed. Only drifting now, only softness now. Only sleep moving closer and closer, while awareness becomes softer and softer beneath the calm, steady rhythm of the night. What if you could simply continue letting go now without needing to notice when sleep arrives? The body already soft. The breath already quiet. The mind already drifting farther away. Nothing more to do now. Nothing more to hold. Only this gentle floating feeling, continuing softly underneath everything else. You can drift. You can soften. You can let awareness become lighter and quieter now, again and again. The body heavy. The night calm. The thoughts fading softly into the distance. And somewhere beneath the remaining awareness, sleep may already be moving around you quietly now, not suddenly, not forcefully. Just gently surrounding you little by little while the body continues sinking deeper into stillness. You do not need to stay connected to the voice anymore. You do not need to follow the meaning of the words anymore. You can simply float beside them softly while the deeper mind continues relaxing further and further into rest. Floating now. Drifting now. Softening now. The room distant. The body warm and heavy. The breath moving slowly on its own, again and again. The same calm rhythm continuing, the same softness continuing, the same quiet heaviness carrying you gently downward. You may notice thoughts fading before they fully form now. Moments of quiet space opening naturally between awareness and dreaming. Moments where Everything feels softer and farther away. And you can let those moments grow. You can let them spread quietly through the mind. No effort needed. No focus needed. Only this slow dissolving into comfort. Only this gentle movement away from wakefulness. Only this calm, floating feeling continuing softly underneath the night. The body resting deeply now. The nervous system quiet. The mind loosening completely around the edges. Safe enough to drift farther. Safe enough to let go more fully. Safe enough to disappear softly into sleep whenever the body is ready. And there is nothing you need to notice about the process anymore. Nothing you need to understand. Nothing you need to stay awake for. Only drifting now. Only floating now. Only this quiet stillness continuing gently while awareness becomes softer and softer and farther away beneath the calm. Familiar rhythm surrounding you tonight. What if you could keep resting here now without needing anything else at all? Soft body, quiet breath, heavy stillness, again and again. The night calm around you. The bed holding you gently. The mind drifting farther away now. Nothing to do, nothing to follow. Only resting now. Only softness now. The breath moving slowly. The body sinking deeply. The thoughts distant and fading. Again and again. Safe night. Quiet mind. Heavy body. You can drift farther now. Farther into softness. Farther into stillness. Farther away from effort. The voice soft in the background. The night soft around you. Everything slowing naturally. Everything quiet now. No urgency. No pressure. Only calm continuing softly. Again and again. The body loose. The chest soft. The jaw quiet. The breath easy and slow. You do not need to stay aware. You do not need to stay connected. The deeper mind already resting. Already drifting. Already softening further. And if sleep has already started surrounding you, that's okay. If awareness fades completely, that's okay too. Nothing needs attention now. Nothing needs effort now. Only this quiet rhythm, soft breath, heavy body, still night, again and again, drifting now, floating now, resting deeply now, the room distant, the thoughts gone quiet, the body warm and safe beneath the darkness. Everything soft, everything slow, everything fading gently into deeper rest. And the more softly awareness drifts now, the more natural sleep may continue unfolding quietly around you without effort, without interruption, without needing to be noticed at all. What if you could simply keep drifting now without needing to return anywhere at all? Soft now, quiet now, heavy now. The body resting deeply beneath everything. The breath slow and gentle, the night wide and still around you, again and again. Nothing to do, nothing to hold, nothing follow anymore. Only drifting mind quao. The thoughts far away now, the body warm and heavy beneath the darkness. Safe here, still here, soft here, again and again. Breathing softly, floating softly, resting deeply. The voice lighter now, farther away now, almost blending into the quietness surrounding you, and you can drift with that quietness. Sink into it, disappear softly into it. No effort, no awareness needed, only softness continuing gently underneath the night. Heavy body, soft breath, quiet stillness, again and again. The room distant now, the day gone quiet now. Everything slowing, everything softening, everything fading gently farther away. You can a little mighty, and then a little more, without trying, without noticing, only drifting deeper, only floating farther, only resting more completely now. The breath continuing on its own, the body resting on its own, the deeper mind quiet and safe beneath everything else. Nothing to remember, nothing to finish, nothing waiting for you now. Only this soft endless stillness. Again and again, quiet now, soft now, heavy now, drifting farther, floating farther. The night holding everything gently, the body resting deeply, the mind fading softly into sleep beneath the slow quiet rhythm continuing gently and endlessly around you now.